Good evening, everybody. It's Ty here, Selling Made Social, and posting this straight to my LinkedIn tribe of apprentices, soon to be masters of LinkedIn, I'm sure. So it's just 12:30 midnight. 12:30. I don't know, midnight. Midnight's 12. I think it's 12. Midnight. So 12:30 Sunday night. About to start Monday. Well, we're in Monday now, but the week is ahead. And people, this is the key for success. Make sure you have intent this week. Have a goal for the week ahead. Know exactly what you want to achieve by the end of the week. Just have one big goal, okay? And then work back from that. So every day, what you're doing is getting you that one step closer to that goal. Now, as you can see by what I posted this video on, it's a fatal flaw that I have seen over and over again when people are using LinkedIn to try to generate revenue events. And that could be, selling your product or service to other business owners or other specialty people, service providers or professionals on LinkedIn. I see this a lot. What happens is people get into LinkedIn and they start to dabble with it. So, you turn it on and you kind of let your intuition guide you on what to do at that moment. And what it tends to end up as you reading articles about Steve Jobs, Amazon, Google, stuff about Facebook, a story about Mark Zuckerberg, and you send out a couple of connections, you delete a couple of emails from someone out of a country that you have no connection to, no relation to, no interest in, and they're trying to sell you a service there. And you put in about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and you've accomplished nothing. So you do that for a few days, or you do that for a couple of weeks, and by the end of that time, you're thinking like, LinkedIn sucks, right? And you're thinking like, I'm not making a cent on this. Why am I on here? It's not for me. It doesn't work. My industry is different. My people are different. See, I've been doing all this work for the last couple of weeks, and I've got no results. And that's the mindset, okay? And you're confirming all those mindset issues because of one fatal flaw, and that is you are going into LinkedIn with zero intent and you're not following a workflow process. And that is so vital. You just got to think, when a pilot, for example, you see it in the movies. I mean, I haven't seen someone personally do it, but you see it in the movies where they have a checklist, right? They don't even turn on the engine or back out of the bay until they've gone through a checklist and they follow it, dang, 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 dang. And that is the optimal way of getting results for them, i.e. getting a plane off the ground safely, right? Well, I'm glad you like LinkedIn, Amanda. I find it as boring as dirt. And I've made millions from it, but I find it as boring as dirt and distracting and a nuisance. I shouldn't talk badly of it, but it has been a huge, huge, huge seven-figure moneymaker for me. However, the reason being is because I don't have that fatal flaw. I don't go in there without absolute intent and clarity. I always have. Every time I turn LinkedIn on, I am following either deliberately a checklist, a workflow process, or subconsciously following it because I've done it thousands of times now. I've been using LinkedIn since April 2004, and it's second nature to me. But I always follow an absolute routine. Just think of your morning routine. we all do the same, pretty much. We do the same thing every morning before we go to our office, before you go to work, before you start your day. What happens when you kind of break one of those routines? You go off track, and it's easy to lose 10, 15 minutes by just breaking and try doing it. Like reverse a couple of steps in your morning routine. Like think about your morning routine. You get up, you do this and do that. Think about it now, and tomorrow morning, like break a couple of those. Um, break a couple of those steps and see how much it changes your ability to get out of the door in the morning on time as your usual time. And that's the same with LinkedIn. You've got to put workflow processes in, and you've got to have intent. So every time you turn it on, you are doing something on the platform for a particular reason. And you're getting in there, you're executing it, and you're getting out again just as quick and efficiently. And that's how I use it. And that's how I coach my clients to use it, and they're moving towards that. And as a business owner, as business owners, that my coaching clients are, some run businesses, some have their own businesses, is that you're too busy to be on it for hours and hours of a day, and you should be valuing your time way more than you probably are. So start to develop your own workflow processes and have them in place for the different intent that you have. So you might be doing a branding, self-promotional branding session. You might be doing a connection strategy. You might be doing messaging. You might be doing a launch or something. But have your workflow processes there so that you can get in there and then just be consistent and just hit them, bang, 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 one after another. And if you do that every day, if you are consistent and have intent with your actions, once you've done it for about 2 months, the whole idea about you can make a habit in 29, that's actually a bit rubbish. It's more like 67 days or something is the actual scientific average of when a habit is formed. So you've got to be doing it for at least a couple of months consistently every day. Then you will have that routine and it becomes second nature. But until then, you should have yourself workflow processes, and you might have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different workflow processes depending on what your intent is on LinkedIn. But I can tell you now that when you are working with intent, they are repeatable action steps that you're doing. So therefore, when they're repeatable, you can actually improve on them. You can actually time yourself. You can get better at it. You can refine it. And I've averaged this year 4.3 hours per week. This will be a multi-six-figure year for me from LinkedIn, and like personally in my pocket. From the firm that I partner at, we'll get about 81% of our revenues from LinkedIn this year. That's our target, around 82%, 81, 82%. So, and it's because, highly efficient, highly intentional with all my interactions on LinkedIn. And I don't read news stories, and I don't, that's how my targets use it. And that's great because that's what I want them to be doing. But that's not how I use it. I use it, to get me as close as possible to a revenue event. It's as simple as that. And then I'm off and working on my business. So I'm at 4.3 hours a week at the moment. So I'm happy with that. And the reason I know that, I use Rescue Time, rescuetime.com, I think it is. Rescue Time is a bit of software that I have on my computers. And what it does is it tracks my activity on my computer and shows all the websites that I visit. And I actually can select websites. So I can say in a day between 9 and 6 p.m., for example, I only want to spend 15 minutes in that whole time on websites that are distracting and not productive. And what I do is I make a list of all those sites and I add them to my distracting list. So basically, as soon as I get to 15 minutes, and it means even if I spend 3 minutes on this one, 5 minutes, it adds it all up. 15 minutes on any of those sites, it instantly blocks me from going onto those sites. And if I want to change it, it asks you like 50 questions. So you just give up and you're like, it doesn't work. And you can put blocks on your mobiles as well. with a different program. But I use Rescue Time to keep me focused, which is awesome, but also track. So then I can be efficient with my time, and I can quickly see, like, this week I spent this amount of time, so this year I've used it for 4.3 hours, so a week. Soham, how are you, mate? Perfect timing, mate. Okay, so those that are watching this and those that will watch it, and you'll see Soham's comment, I actually pinned it to the top of the board. Now, about a month ago, he came to the group, maybe about a month ago, right? A month, 5-6 weeks ago, and had all these questions, was a mess. It was a LinkedIn mess. Sorry, mate. There's a reason, I know you're not now, but he was a LinkedIn mess, and and this young fella, he is a vacuum, man. He is a vacuum, and he just sucks up. And I see him in other groups because we are in some groups. I don't know if he knows that, but we're actually in quite a few similar groups. And I see him there as well. He's doing the same thing. He's asking questions. He's making comments. He's contributing. And he just sucks in all this information. But the good thing about him, he executes. He executes. Like, he does it. And like, we've had multiple private message conversations. And he'll say, "What do you think of this?" And I'm like I am. I'm quite blunt. I would just say that kind of sucks. I'm sorry, mate. And he takes it on board, and he's just like, "Yep, okay, I'll try this." And he does it. Like, he had this horrible photo on LinkedIn. We said, change it. And boom, it's just awesome. And look at his results. I pinned them to the page. He's made money. He's made money this month, big time. Like, you can write if you want to share how much you made or whatever, but he's, we're in the 5 figures, and a couple of those clients are going to be massive ones for him over the next 12 months. A couple more of them, he's in the 6 figures, and it's all about his drive is incredible because he is executing, he's learning, he absorbs it, but then he executes, and that is really the key for success, is to put it into the market. About 30,000, right? There you go. So just awesome. He's done tremendously well for himself, and it's because he pays attention. He picks up the hints that I leave and the tips that I leave. Of course, my coaching is for my coaching students, but I do provide, I think, a lot of value here to everyone. But he's picked the stuff up and he just executes, guys. So just do that. Just execute. It will get you there. But, he does it with intent, and that's just awesome. I mean, he's not stuffing around on LinkedIn. I'm sure when he goes in there now, he's always thinking like, okay, how can I get to a revenue event? What activities do I have to do to keep on track to get to my goals? And that's what you should be doing, everyone. So it was nice that you were awake. So because I was about to go to bed. So cool, guys. Anyway, that's my tip for the week. Have one major goal for the week, like an overall big goal for this week, and then break it up each day, and then stay congruent with that. So everything you're doing is trying to get to that goal. When you go into LinkedIn, execute a plan, right? Don't just 9 p.m. there. It's 12:40 a.m. here, mate. So 3 hours and a bit, almost 4 hours ahead of you. So don't just go in there and stuff around and use your intuition. Go in there, follow that checklist, and develop your checklist, and actually write them out and have them there and follow them. And then once you've got it, you can just use it and use it and use it. And it just keeps you focused, and you'll start getting results. Just like Soham has, he's got results. At the start, he was probably thinking like, is LinkedIn really going to make me money? He sent out his initial messages. People were ignoring them. All these things happen, but he refined, he tested, and now people listen to him, and now he's going to get clients. And now it will become for you, mate, non-stop leads. LinkedIn is going to be non-stop business leads for you, man. Absolutely. Big things. Watch this space, this young fella. next 3 years, 4 years, he's going to be big, 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 big in Asia and big on the inline space, online space, right across the globe, I'm sure. That's what he wants. All right, anyway, that's it for me. I'm out of here, Monday now, and start the week ahead. I think I got all the points I wanted to make. There was one other thing, a gripe, but I won't gripe. I want to keep it positive. Watch the video. Watch the video I posted from Eddie from Your World Within, motivational, inspirational. If you think that you can be successful with a bad mindset, and the mindset in terms of a set of beliefs and anything but positivity, think again. I have not met any successful entrepreneur that does not have a bulletproof mindset. Now, of course, you're going to have emotions. You're going to when you fail, when something goes wrong, it's going to hurt. When you doubt yourself, it's going to happen. Absolutely, it's going to happen. But as you bulletproof your mindset and as you train it, the pain you have actually gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So those emotions never go away. Okay, I always fear, where's my next client coming from? Where's the money coming from? But the impact that it has on me is just so small now, right? Because as soon as I have those thoughts, and they do come to me as well, I change them, and I replace them. I already have techniques and tools. So have a listen to the at least the first 3 minutes of the YouTube video I just posted like 10 minutes ago. It's awesome. Eddie is just an amazing young fella. I was meant to interview him last week, but I'm going to be interviewing him this Wednesday. And so I should have it posted maybe Thursday or Friday. So I'm so happy because I've been following this young guy and he's an inspiration for me. I love his posts. I love his videos. They just really reframe me and get me like focused. And I tracked him down and he's just awesome. And he agreed to do a video interview with me, and I'm going to post that in the group this week. So that's going to be kind of cool because he is just awesome. And as entrepreneurs, that's what we need. We just need that kind of constant positivity, and we need that support. And you've got to fill the mind with really good stuff. Otherwise, it's just so easy to go off track because no one else cares about our goals, guys. Maybe your wife or husband, possibly, but no one cares about them as much as you care about them. And that comes at a point. That's what I wanted to make. I was speaking to a potential client the other day, and my dream for his success was bigger than his dream for his success, and that's just not a match. If I'm wanting this guy to be more successful, then he wants to be successful, and he's got all these fears and all these concerns because of past coaches that he's had and all that. That's on him. I'm not going to take that off him and own that. That's for him to own. But when my dream of his success is bigger than his dream of his success, then that's a mismatch. So guys, if it's your dream, you've just got to feed it and feed it and feed it and stay positive. And you're the only one. You're the only one you have to convince. You don't have to convince anyone else around you. You've just got to convince yourself. And fill that cup with positivity and just pour stuff into it every day. So listen to Eddie, the video I posted. He's awesome. And as I said, this week we'll have our own video for the group with him. So that's going to be cool. So anyway, I forgot to mention that. So it's going to be Ace. Ace, haven't used that word since the 80s. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm tired. I should be going to bed. Almost 1 a.m. here. I'll be up in under 6 hours and back on the tools. So see you later, guys. Have a good one. Bye.